Hi guys, you were both wondering what the recipe was for my mother's classic stuffed Italian artichokes. So we thought that doing a little YouTube video would be the best way to do that. And so we're going to walk you through the whole process. Here to join me today from the Rhode Island Department of Health's Vegetable Awareness Task Force is your co-mom, July Lewis.
Hi, good to see you guys.
And so here are the basic ingredients. Italian breadcrumbs. My mother would use Pastine, but Progresso's good, and the other brands are pretty good. They're pretty much interchangeable. But Italian-style breadcrumbs, as much Parmesan as you can shred, pine nuts, which are optional, garlic, about a clove per head of artichoke, or whatever they're called. You can put the garlic in without sauteing it, but it comes out sweeter if you pre-saute it. And sliced olives and some type of bouillon. I tend to use better than bouillon. My mom used to use Knorr bouillon. So step one, we want to trim our artichoke. We're going to cut this stem off, but we're not going to toss it out because my mom went through the Depression and we went through COVID-19. We don't throw anything away. So I'm going to take the stem and peel all the really tough stuff off. I'll finish that up later. So it leaves the artichoke looking like this. Then you want to take a nice sharp serrated knife, and I'm going to cut off maybe a quarter of the artichoke. And then I'm going to cut off maybe the top quarter of all of these leaves and take off the thorny parts. So now that the leaf ends are all trimmed off, all the little thorny things, the next thing I'm going to do is open up the artichoke. And I'm going to take out all of that purple stuff. That's the choke in artichoke. And so when I scoop out the center of the artichoke, I cut this one away so you can see better, I'm going to take all of this stuff out down to here, all of this fuzzy stuff down to the artichoke heart. So all of this purple stuff is going to go, and most of this fuzzy stuff. So you can see that I've hollowed out the inside of the artichoke, and that's where the stuffing is going to go. And if you're wondering how much stuffing to make, you can just use a measuring cup as a comparison. So this is a 1/3 cup. It kind of fits in there. So 1/3 of a cup of stuffing would not be too much for that artichoke. So you can multiply that by as many artichokes as you're doing. So this is ready to stuff, but I'm not going to do any stuffing until they're all prepared like this. So to just get them to hold steady, I'm going to plunge them into cold water with lemon. And that'll stop the interiors from turning brown while I'm doing all of the other artichokes, okay? So we'll come back when they're all prepared and we'll do some stuffing. Okay, so now it's time to mix the stuffing. I actually scale back the stuffing to maybe more like a half a cup or less per artichoke because we've got all these other ingredients. So anyway, we're starting off with the breadcrumbs, and in no particular order we're going to add the Parmesan cheese, some of the chopped up stems. They're really more than we need.
How many did you figure?
Yeah, maybe half that. That's good.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some pine nuts.
All of these?
No, maybe half of those.
Okay.
Maybe 1/3 of the can of olives.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, but not the liquid, huh?
The liquid's actually kind of tasty and salty, so that's fine. Great. And then the pre-sauteed garlic.
Okay.
So after that, we're going to add enough EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, so we get a really nice mix that kind of like sticks together just slightly.
All right, you want me to add the olive oil now?
Yeah.
All right.
and we'll come back when it's all.
I think I've got it the way Dennis wants it. I put plenty of olive oil in, and so when you grab it, it just kind of holds together like that.
So the next thing you want to do is stuff the stuffing into the artichoke. Kind of tamp it down a little bit. Great. And my mother used to dress the very top of the artichoke stuffing with a big jumbo olive, which I thought was like the best part. Great, and we're going to just stuff all the artichokes. All right, so now the artichokes are all stuffed, and you can drizzle even a little bit more EVOO right on top. Great. Okay, so we have a 6-quart Presto pressure cooker, but since these are big hunky artichokes, we can only fit 3 at a time because you really want them down there in the liquid. And we're going to put about an inch or so of chicken broth into the pot, and now it's time to get cooking. So we put our pressure cooker on the stove, crank the heat up to incinerate, and a few minutes later we're starting to get some sound effects from the pressure cooker. So a few minutes later the little weight on the top starts jiggling, you can hear the steam escaping, and that means that it's up to full steam ahead. I want to turn back the flame so that the cap jiggles about once per minute. So the artichokes have been cooking under pressure now for about 20 minutes. And I don't want to overcook them, so I'm going to check them at 20 minutes. And of course you can't just directly open up the lid because it's under a lot of pressure. This always reminds me of the Rodney Dangerfield joke about his wife. It's like, my wife, I'm telling you, she's a terrible cook. I got her a pressure cooker for Christmas. No, we eat off the ceiling. So you don't want that. You need to cool off the pressure cooker first under cold water. And when the pressure's relieved, we'll just open it up and see if we need to cook for another 5 minutes or so. So after 20 minutes, I've let it cool off until the little pressure valve dropped back down. I'm going to pull out one of these leaves, which comes out really nice and easily, and I'm going to take a little taste. Oh, pretty good. Those are done. So that's it. Artichokes alla mama. And so to serve, you just put them in individual bowls and scoop out a little bit of the cooking liquid, and that's it. Ecco fatto.
So good.
Abbondanza.